I was on Patreon the other night and I said how I always take my arm and move everything over to the right hand side, and it was like an avalanche. And my friend Robin said it was a craftalanche. So that's what we're dealing with. I am going to do a little different video for you today, and I'm going to show you how I tackle a mess like this on my desk before I work. I always work a little better if I have the space cleaned off. So we're going to go ahead and open the windows and just let some light in and get started. I have this little maybe makeup pouch that I got from Dollar Tree, and I love it because it kind of expands and gives me room, and I can leave it open so I can reach in. And that is where I keep any things that I use on a daily basis. So that's going to be my pens and bone folder, my scissors, the small ruler, and my tiny attacher. And I try to keep it so that nothing else is in there. That way it doesn't get cluttered. I have a space for everything else, but sometimes I tend to try to stick stuff in there, like you saw those glue bottles. And I want to keep that where it's only the things that I reach for. That way, when I'm creating something, I can easily access that and I don't have to go looking underneath piles and stuff. And so far, it's worked really well. Once I get that done, I'm going to do like a cleaning method. This is how I clean at my house, is I create piles. And so that way, instead of taking one item at a time and putting them away, it's a lot easier to categorize them into categories. So like things, so then I can do one at a time. And you're going to see that this process takes so much less time than if I were to do one at a time, which sometimes I do, and I just waste a ton of time like that. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Ingrid Carlson, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Today's video is going to be a little different than my usual content, and I'm going to do a thrift store haul. I actually got to go into a thrift store this weekend and almost walked out because I didn't see a lot of craft stuff, but I'm so glad that I kept looking because I'm really excited about the things that I got. So once we clean up this mess, we will get to the haul. And here I have all of my piles sorted, and now comes the easy part. This is where I'm just going to take stuff and put it away. And I'm going to show you as I'm putting away some of my punches on this little cart that I have to the right of my desk. I'm going to pick up a cutting mat that doesn't belong there and put it away. This also helps me to save time so I don't have to make 2 trips. And so we have it fairly cleaned off. I left a couple things on there because I am going to film right after this. And so that's what those are there for. So I got this bag and it had some stencils in it. And the other pieces were not part of the bag that I'm going to show you. But I went ahead and put it all together instead of getting a bag when I checked out. And I'll tell you the total at the end. So first off, I found these envelopes. They're the window envelopes that I'm always digging out of the trash because my husband thinks they're garbage, and I covet them and love them. Are you in the same boat? Do you love these envelopes? And these are really pretty. They're actually a nice blue color on the inside. And I really love the inside of the envelopes as much as the outside. I've talked about that a lot. So I was really excited to grab these. The next thing that I picked up was this little bag of stamps, and the main stamp in there is a stamp of the United States, which I almost put it back because I was like, I don't need that, even though now I have ideas of how I'm going to be able to use it, but I really wanted it because of the number stamps. They're so nice, and actually I have a product. I have a project that I am making with the stamps. And instead of putting it on the end of this video and making this one too long, I'm going to actually post tomorrow. And instead of waiting a day in between, I'll post it tomorrow and I'll show you the project that we're going to do together. As I started unboxing, I realized that I never even looked to see if all the numbers were there. And so I was pleasantly surprised to see that every single number, including 0, was included. This was actually the first thing that I picked up, and I think this was $2 for this little bundle. It just said material, and I know now why it said material and not fabric. And so I just thought that these colors are really great. I've talked about ginghams before, and anytime I can find a plaid or a gingham, I think they're really great neutrals that can be added to a lot of things. They go with florals, they go with stripes. I mean, really, they go with anything. And so that's why they caught my eye. And of course, being red and white, Christmas is just around the corner. So I had my eye open for that. So as I'm opening up the fabrics, I noticed that it looks like maybe somebody either was trying to make a pattern. You could kind of see it looks almost like a top, or maybe it was a top. So when I'm looking here, I can see one of the edges is finished at the bottom, and you know, I'm starting to think like maybe this was clothing that got taken apart. And when I get to, I think it was here, I noticed that there's a pocket. So actually no, I think this one was maybe like, I don't know, curtains or something like that. I think it's the next one. I'm still looking for that pocket. I know it was there because I felt it and I saw it, and I think it has to be these. And there's the pocket. And I'm so excited that this person did this and did kind of the heavy lifting. Sometimes I'll gather fabrics or like clothes that I'm going to donate, and I think, well, I can use the fabric. But then I'm like, no, maybe somebody could use it for clothing, and it's hard for me to tear it apart. So now I don't have to think about that, and I can do it. Okay, now we're going to get to the really fun part, and it's the bag of stencils. So I'm going to start off with these that are kind of like a cardstock, and I think these can be found, I think I've seen them at maybe Walmart or Joann's. And you can definitely use them with paint. You can also use them as is. And so I'm kind of toying with what I should do with them. Maybe I'll do a variation, and I'll use some for stenciling and then some for like sticking in journals. I think that would be really fun to do. What's your suggestion? What would you do with these? I'm going to start pulling out all of the stencils and putting them on a book so that you can see the detail of them. There were so many in here. I honestly only saw a few, and I was, okay, there's one that's really big. You're going to see it's a brick pattern, and I was really hoping for a floral, so I literally picked it up hoping for that floral. I had no idea what else was in there because I couldn't really see through it. I know it's clear, but maybe it was just, I don't know, the excitement of treasure hunting. But anyways, I'm so glad that I picked it up because you're going to see whoever had this pile really loved stencils, and there's some really great stencils in here. I won't spoil it for you, but they're really, really great. So you're definitely going to see me using more stencils in my projects. If you're an avid stencil user, I would love to pick your brain right now. So this stencil here, you can see it's very thin and it's also very big, but my concern is that when you use a spray that it's going to go underneath because of how thin the little pieces are. And so I want to know what you would use these for. Would you use this maybe for a jelly plate? That's actually a good idea. Or do you use sprays? I would be very hesitant to use a modeling paste on there because I think it's too thick for as dainty as this design is. But anyways, I would love for you to let me know how you would use them. And here's that brick pattern that I was talking about. What's funny about this is of all the patterns on the back of the page where it shows like all the different ones right there, that would be the only one that I would not get. And so I made the decision of getting this based on that. And I'm so glad because it really did pay off, even if I got the bricks. As I was unboxing this, I was really surprised at the amount of stencils that were in here. I was expecting half of the amount, if that, and I'm definitely saving the best for last. Wait until you see what I scored. Not only is it Tim Holtz, but it's also Christmas. So I'm really excited. I actually have some other stencils that are Tim Holtz, kind of the same type. And this definitely is going to kind of propel me to use them more. Also, I want to ask you guys another question. I feel like you're so knowledgeable and you're able to give me so many great ideas. And I'm wondering how you store your stencils. I know some of these, look at all these. I'm so excited. But some of these have the little hole at the top so that you can do a binder clip. But for some of the bigger ones, they don't. And so I'm wondering how you store them. If you have a really good method that you have used or that you've seen, I would love for you to share it with me. I'm really so thankful to have found these. I never expected that there would be that many stencils and then let alone Tim Holtz products. So there was an estate sale out here of, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, and they had a ton of Tim Holtz stuff and I didn't make it. And I'm not going to lie, I've thought about it almost daily of, man, I could have probably gotten some really good deals and I didn't go. Why didn't I go? Blah, blah, blah. And so now I'm very thankful to have found these. And so definitely check out my channel. If you're not already following me, this is a great time for you to subscribe as well as hit the bell so you get notified anytime any of my videos comes out, because I will be using these. And don't forget that tomorrow I will be dropping another video where we're going to make a project with the things that I've gotten here. And don't worry, you can use stuff that you have at home. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's got a lot of texture and I think you're going to love it. So I just wanted to thank you so much for being here with me today. I am very curious to see if you like these hauls, even if they're not Dollar Tree. And if you'd actually like to see the thrift store while I'm at it. I don't know if I can film at all of them, but if I can, I will if that's something that you guys want to see. And in case someone has not told you today, I want to remind you that you are beautiful. You are smart and you matter. And most of all, you are chosen and loved. Until next time, love you. Bye.